Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Brock Purdy, Week 7, tough L for the Niners, down a bunch of Avengers at home versus the Chiefs. Locked in, fired up. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, a quick reminder about the Quarterback School Patreon community. This group is the foundation, the bedrock of the channel. Not only is it a great, inexpensive way to support the channel, but you get even more Quarterback School content, really trying to create the environment of what it's like in an NFL quarterback room. So if you enjoy the type of nuance, depth, detail that these YouTube videos try to begin to uncover, you will love the Quarterback School Patreon community. It's a little bit looser, a little bit more raw as far as what it's like in an NFL quarterback room. Maybe not as nice of language as well. But other than that, I have a really great time over there. That group really does make this channel go. So hop over there, become a member. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get into it. Brock Purdy, the Niners, the Chiefs. Oh, no, not again. Whew. So rough one, y'all, on many different levels. All right, 3 picks. We're going to break them all down. We're going to break a lot down. Right here, this is unfortunate, really never close. Okay, I think it's important to start by saying that you can't make this throw. Okay? This is never close to hitting the over to Kittle. It no doubt is on Purdy. Okay, I want to be really explicit about that, because sometimes when we get into the weeds of these things, I can hear myself making excuses saying, hey, if we could have done this, we could have done the middle field post player here. For him to drive and pick off an over, it just can't happen. You have to be able to see that. Originally when I saw this, I thought this was kind of a true, what I'm used to calling a naked or a keeper. Fake this thing, and then we're coming out here. But I think he's supposed to settle up here. Okay, so there's a few things that we're going to talk through pass pro-wise at some point. But what I want to really pay attention to is this ball is designed to go right here. Okay, and this is a big play opportunity. So you got to beat sticky man coverage. You got to do double moves like this sometimes. Now, very good player. Bummer that he's hurt. This to me is a pretty long double move. Okay, so that's one part of it. It takes a while. So when we go to throw this thing, we set up, we go to throw this thing, and he throws it to the over here. This still isn't ready to go. So the timing here for me is a little funky. If this is where we want to go, I'm used to just a quicker move and then go. That's the first part. So the timing to me is funky on this double move. The more pressing issue to me is just, I know this guy's a very good football player, fullback type. This is a very difficult block, asking him to come across. It looks like he's trying to bluff, like he's going to the flat and then block. Then he loses to an edge defender. So just like overall ball, this slice block or come back across split flow action to block an NFL defensive edge for a tight end is difficult. For a fullback, very difficult. So for us to think we're going to get play action, set up, double move with this block from this guy, I'm not sure it's realistic. Okay. Now, again, he's not my buddy. We don't go to Cabo together. Okay. Get your feelings straight. But again, to me, that's tough. So you've got that. You've got the long double move. And then, of course, you've got Purdy making a poor decision, poor throw. Okay, so it's all rough. But it could have been great. So again, that's a great move down here to the bottom. It just takes too long, dog. We're throwing that ball to the over right there, and look at the move at the bottom. He's not out of the break yet. Now, you might say, okay, smartass, what would you do different? 2 things. 1, this to me should be a post. If this is a post or something through the middle of the field, it holds this player. Okay, now again, if this is, maybe a different guy, it also works too. Just the threat of it. The personnel is a bummer. Okay, but the design of it and then the pass pro design, it's putting our buddy in too much of a stretch position. Like that's a real difficult block. And I mean, he barely gets hands on him, right? So Purdy never really has time to make this throw. And again, you can't make the throw. At the end of the day, you can't make the throw. Okay, you can't make a bad play a disaster, and that's what Purdy did there. So again, double move, great, love it. You know, if we're feeling 100% and we run a post there, it's probably better in the slot. But this block from the fullback, again, even if you're asking him, even if he was just coming across in split flow action and blocking this guy, that's a very difficult block. I don't know what it looks like. He's coming across and like deking, like he's going to go to the sneak flat or slide, and then trying to block, doesn't get him, and then checks out. So it doesn't make sense to me. And again, we can say, no doubt, Brock is the issue here, but there are other factors that lead to this type of bad play. Next one here, 3rd and 6. This is a tough one. Okay. Again, it is a bummer losing Ayuk for sure. I don't think of him as ever this type of guy for me with this system. To me, this looks like Ayuk is running the choice. So there's a few things here. 3rd and 6, trying to get the ball to him. I really like it. I don't think he's proven himself as this type of guy yet in his career. And what I mean by that is he's got a full route tree, no doubt about it. But this to me is a little bit more of like a slotty feel type route. So what I'm saying here is we're going to run this corner 7. We're going to run Debo on this kind of like slow motion ass. I get it. He's sick. Kind of 2 gather, across, shallow gather. And then here's this, what I'm calling a choice route. So you let these 2 guys go, and then you come in here and you can either sit down versus zone. You can usually run in. You can usually run out, or you can go to the post in many offenses. Okay, so it sure looks like Purdy's anticipating him sitting down. So they're just not on the same page. The other part that I will say is I love this type of play. If you catch split field coverage here, so any version of middle field open, and you have any sort of what I'm used to calling like a choice stutter. So you come up, you choice it like you sit down like you're going to do this, and then you pipe it versus middle field open, it's got a chance to kill. Now that's not what they're doing here. But again, it's just Purdy and Ayuk not being on the same page. Now, you can make any sort of, not in training camp, bullshit excuse you want. They're just not on the same page. Now, you could also say, hey, Purdy, let's make him right. So right here, Ayuk to me is wrong. So he decides to take it to the post and like split a bracket. Okay, well, the quarterback's job often on these types of plays is to make this guy right. So let him choose. And then if he chooses wrong, you got to get through the read. So you either got to come back to the shallow. I prefer run with a comeback on the backside. Or you can stay front side and work this out or corner. But you got to make him right. Right here, Ayuk is wrong. Purdy reaffirms it. So they're just not on the same page at the end of the day. Now, again, you could say, hey, just get through the read, throw it to Kittle, get through the read, come back to Debo, jogging. Okay, I get it. He's sick. It's just the film is the film. Okay, but at the end of the day, it's 3rd and 6. We're trying to get it to one of our best players. It's not there. We're not on the same page. Bad look. Next one here, 3rd and 2. I really like this from Purdy. 3rd and 2, we're going to start in bunch, get to 2x2 condensed. We're going to work Ayuk up top on a little switch release corner. Now we've got to wait for him to beat the DB, but this ball is perfectly thrown. And you can't catch it for him. I don't care if the sun's in your eyes, insert any excuse you want, must catch the ball. And so it's just unfortunate because we're not playing great. We're struggling early in this game. We dropped this ball right in the breadbasket, perfectly thrown, touch. Again, almost no one better in the league in this kind of like intermediate kind of touch throw area than Brock Purdy. He shows it off again. I don't think this is not an easy look because we're going to run this little one I'm used to calling switch release. So here's out on that little looper return that they love. Here's that switch release up and corner. And the part that's funky here is that this DB has got us leveraged. So we've got a win here at the top of this thing. It's a tough throw. We drop it right down the line. I mean, right in the bucket. And we can't hook it up. So yeah, did Brock Purdy play his best game? Absolutely not. Did we get any help to make this thing easier? Not really. I mean, that is a tough drop on 3rd and 2, being aggressive. versus the Chiefs, you're going to have to be aggressive. You're going to have to hit plays. You're going to have to make the plays that are there to be made. And this is Brock Purdy doing an excellent job going left to right, drop it right on him. Damn. Next one here, 1st and 20. This is a beautiful job connecting with Kittle right down the middle of the field. So they're going to present like it's going to get to closed here. You can see 6 working to the middle of the field. They're going to rotate that thing to 2. The nickel or star is going to get out of there to the half field, and Purdy and company are locked in to attack the middle of the field. Just a beautiful job. There were a number of opportunities here when we caught zone to attack the middle of the field, and it's an excellent job by Purdy with recognition. It's a nice call as well. I'm very critical of this drop back game right here. This is an excellent answer off the coverage. So again, who knows how they're reading this? Okay, I'm not in their quarterback room. I'm not going to tell you I know how they're reading it. But I am going to tell you that at the snap here, this doesn't look like a great play. So if it's middle field closed and we're running this, that's not ideal in my opinion. We got a post safety right there for like a post or seamish route. What happens though at the snap is they're presenting closed. They run to open with the nickel or the star getting back there. So you create this kind of natural kind of lane for us to attack. So as we attack it, we always know we want to get to the middle of the field versus middle field open, and there it is. So it's an excellent job of recognizing it post snap, seeing the space, hitting this little chunk first and forever. We get a big chunk. Now we got a first down. It's awesome. It's excellent football in the drop back game, looking like we have answers versus a team that plays a lot of multiple stuff with a lot of tight coverage on the back end. Super decisive. Get the ball out. We've got somebody running open down the middle of the field, put it right on his face. Let's roll. Next one here. This is a tough one. Okay, we've got some clown car pass pro going on here. We've got tough routes. They're kind of scheming us up. They're playing tight, sticky coverage. We can't really get through the read because of the pass pro issues. Tripping ourselves, friendly fire, and it's a wrap. And it's a bad sack, and it's hard to play quarterback like this. So first off, what's going on just route-wise down the field? We've got a condensed split, and we're running some sort of in-breaker. I'll call it a drift. Okay, now the reason you do a condensed split like this oftentimes is to make sure you get outside leverage by the corner. Okay, but I want you to watch this because this corner is going to be inside leverage. So inside leverage versus this route is rough. In fact, I would say you would get off of it immediately. Then down here to the bottom, we're going to run a little shake Colorado post corner. You know, versus man coverage, that's great, but it's going to take some time. Like we got to win. We got to fight through some tough, sticky coverage, and it's probably going to be there. It is. So if we can go 1 to 2 here, great. And that's not out of the, that's not tough thinking for Purdy to be able to go 1 to 2 across the field. What is tough though, is that if we're going to go counter pass and pull the guard and pull the wing or the sniffer here, you can't run into each other. We can't have 2 people trying to block the edge right here, and basically they only block each other. Okay, so we've got faulty pieces, tough looks everywhere. We've got a tough look up top. First, let's watch the coverage on the drift up top. See him inside right there? That's a tough look. Inside with a post safety, they've got you. They schemed you up. Okay, they got you. They know why you do tight splits. I get it. So no up top, yes, down here to the bottom. Okay, he wins. He comes out of it. So that's where the ball would go if we had time. Now see the pass pro. I mean, we get, it's not even turf monster. They monster each other. Just can't happen. So how you get away from that is you have the sniffer 82 deeper. Okay, you can see he's deep, but it's not the guard's fault that we're getting essentially tailpiped here and trip each other up. Now, again, different teams will do this different ways. On counter pass, I prefer the guard to go first and the sniffer or wing to adjust off of him. Sometimes some teams will say, hey, guard go first and take the widest, and then we'll take the inside. So it'd be like 1 to 2 here. There are different ways to do it. I'm not telling you that I sit in Chris's pass pro meetings and have an idea what he's saying. I can tell you that this ain't it, bro. You got no chance. And it looks like the tight end is even surprised that the guard is there. You don't want to touch an offensive lineman in his back like that. You definitely don't want to trip his feet up. We're both on the ground, and we got no chance. And that was essentially the day all day. Next one here, 3rd and 12. This is unfortunate. Okay, so we miss Ayuk down here to the bottom on what I'm going to call a slant. It might be a little bit more glancy. I hope it's a slant. I've got some just philosophical issues. And again, this is not going to be the first time. You know, if you're a fan of the channel, you've probably heard me say, I just don't understand throwing hot away from the hot. I just think it's incredibly difficult. So at the end of the day, we've got potentially multiple free runners, okay, up top. So unblocked guys. We are then going to throw, there is no hot. So I think we run like a clear, we run someone on a looper return, and we run someone on like the sail or 7. Nobody's looking hot here. So to me, that's a structural failure. That is an offensive scheme issue. Now maybe their answer is to throw slant over here as the hot. Okay, just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's against the rules. Okay, now the problem with this is that when you're hot over here, so we've got the free runner again over here, it's really hard to look to your left and know how much time you have to be able to throw this slant. And this guy has proven he's very good at throwing with anticipation. And no one would be shocked if he put this ball exactly on him perfectly. And these guys get paid too. This is press. Okay, this is not free access. Press is a harder slant. So I really like this route if it wasn't a hot situation, because what does he do? He sets it at the line of scrimmage, good release. He resets his stem, gives him something at the top, and comes in there and wins. That's a great route. Press one-on-one at like a camp. Okay, but this is NFL hot 3rd and 12. You've got to, okay, ear must be here. You got to fucking go, bro. We got to go way faster. We can't have this happen. And again, press, they got you. They schemed you up, dog. We're getting schemed up. It's on film. It's not against the rules to have this answer, but you can see Ayuk reset the stem. So release, reset the stem, and the ball's already in the air. It's by you. And again, is it a perfect throw? Is it exactly where Brock wants to go? He's got to throw it with anticipation. We've got 2 guys hot to the right. We're double hot. We're hot AF. He throws it with anticipation. He's got an answer. The answer is just not that good. And we missed the throw. Damn. Next one here is the first of a few that I felt like Purdy got a little greedy. So I get it. This guy hasn't played a lot. He's playing the slot up top. Coming back from a crazy incident. That's a great story. I'm on board for that. I'm also on board for him probably not being up to speed with just the speed of the Sunday game. What exactly Purdy wants. You can tell he's a little late to get his head around. Purdy anticipates him looking quickly. He looks like he's surprised. He looks like he's playing Vandy. Okay, it's just a difference. Now, the part that I think when we're talking about quarterback analysis specifically is most people, if you were to draw this play like this, and it doesn't matter what this guy does up top, most people would say you would want to alert this or 1 this. This would be 1 and this would be 2. Just because of the depths and when they come open, right? Like this comes open first, this comes open second. So if that's the case, the ball should go here. And this happens multiple times in this game where he just got a little bit, what I would say honestly is out of his football character. I don't know this dude, but he seems like he's a pretty sharp decision maker. This looks open. This looks forced. It felt like they were just a little bit on tilt this entire first half. So again, play it out down here to the bottom. Like that's open. We got to throw that. Now, I don't know. Like later in the game, the very similar concept to the bottom, he forces the go down the field. So it just felt forced. He feels a little sped up. Again, we continue to get hit in the pocket. 14 doesn't quite play this thing fast enough. The speed of the game. And we're taking an L right in our lap at center. It's tough. I mean, I'm not mad at that throw. That throw is right there. I'm mad at the decision. And again, the wide receiver is just not playing fast enough. That's just the truth of it there. Next one here. Y'all, again, let me preface this by saying I have been critical of the drop back game. There are times, though, when we can scheme them up. And right here, Shanny and company are scheming them up in the drop back game. Excellent pocket movement from Purdy. everything except probably the final ball location. But when you're so open, you almost just want to put it on him and not airball a layup. But a better throw here is probably a touchdown. This is world-class design. This is a bracket beater on steroids. This is excellent. Shift, motion, pocket movement, driving the ball down the field. It is outstanding. These are the plays you have to hit versus the Chiefs. It's excellent. Just let this wash over you as far as the design. Start by bunch 3x1, slightly wide. Okay, shift to 2x1, condensed. And then we're going to motion Kittle out the backfield. Okay, now what the actual routes are down here to the bottom, we've got Ayuk going on like the glance or the post. Then we've got Kittle essentially running what looks like it's supposed to be like a choice path, and then he just takes that thing. Okay, now the coverage here is essentially 2 on Ayuk. So we've got these two bracketing right here. So it's really 0 on Kittle. So then you've got this defender coming out. He's thinking, oh, from 5 yards deep, what the hell is he going to run? He's going to run a choice. And then we just run right by him. It is great design. It is an awesome call. It is also excellent pocket movement from Purdy. So watch the coverage. See how 2 go on Ayuk here. Again, this isn't a news flash. I'm just going to point it out because I know that there are some diehard 49er people that love them some 49er content, and I appreciate it. If you play the 49ers, okay, lock in here for a hot second. If you play the 49ers on defense, you better get inside leverage. You better get inside leverage. If you play them outside leverage, they will eat you up. So you got to almost anticipate it if you're the 49ers. Now you're going to get all this inside leverage. So that means you got to be working outside the numbers. You can't be working all these little drifts, posts, slants, wraps, daggers. You got to find ways to push the ball down the field outside the numbers. So we had a good corner opportunity. Now we've got this opportunity. That's a world-class scheme. That's a world-class scheme. Shift, motion, attack bracket. They double your Ayuk. Look at the pocket movement. Boom. And then everything except just if he throws that ball on the 35 instead of the 40 there, Kittle probably scores. Regardless, it's a great play. Next one here. Okay, this is tough. Okay, I believe this is the one where Ayuk gets hurt. Okay, so I'm going to tread lightly here, all right? And I'm going to tell you that I don't know, haven't heard these guys talk about this route, don't know exactly what it's supposed to be. It's always unfortunate when anybody gets hurt. It obviously stings significantly more when it's a guy you paid, just got paid. You need to be at your absolute best, and it just sucks. Okay, it sucks on many different levels. I'm not going to sit here and watch the actual injury, but I am going to say a few things here. One, to me, Purdy's footwork here, he just doesn't normally play like this with this kind of base. So when he hits his back foot, instead of heel clicking here, I think of Purdy as like one of the best bases in the game as far as he keeps his base and the ball comes out super quickly. So if he didn't get his feet together, does the ball come out a little bit quicker? I would say yes. Does that, keep him from getting injured? Probably not. But it's worth pointing out to me the footwork to me at the back is not my favorite. The next thing here is this route. I'm going to guess that this is a basic, meaning a basic in, a cross, like this kind of in. If it's more of a posty thing here, I don't think you can throw this ball versus a post safety. I don't think it is. But I am saying the top of this route for Ayuk, to me, he drifts a little. Okay, I prefer to think of it as almost like it doesn't roll off your tongue, but like an anti-interception angle where you, at the top of this thing, you actually carve it back to like a negative to not only keep you away from that, but to protect you from the coverage behind you. So you don't want the DB type to undercut you, which I think is easier if you drift upfield. So it's a combination for me here of the top of the route drifting, the heel clickiness, and again, just unfortunate because the target area, DBs, guys are going to go low. These hits are crazy unfortunate. It's a bummer. First thing, let's watch Purdy's feet. So again, now does he have to make a crazy move? Because I'm guessing that's Chris Jones. Comes through there. and he has to make a violent movement, maybe. But that footwork from Purdy, you just don't see him in that base very often. And maybe it's because he has to move. Okay, I acknowledge the fact that if he has to move, then you have to violent reset and reset your base. Okay. Now the top of the route from Ayuk, he makes the cut where? At the 22? Where's the ball at? So the ball's at the 29. So I doubt they're running a, 7-yard basic cross, whatever his depth is. So when he comes across right there, let's say the 19. If this, and again, I don't know for sure that it is. I'm assuming it's not a post because that would be a bad look. If it's supposed to be an in and you're running on a 29, at minimum, you want to run it flat. Okay, so I'm just going to leave the marker up there and we're going to see exactly where he runs this thing. See him carve it? Now that, again, it's not great to take the marker down. He cuts at 19. He's drifting up the field and he catches it on the 16, 17. You're just closer to the safety. And again, it's an unfortunate hit. So only those guys know like where the depths are. It's just a bummer on many different levels. And when you think, potentially, little things could have helped maybe negate it or not allow that kind of hit to happen, it just sucks. But if you don't learn from it, well, then it's just going to happen to somebody else. And so this idea being that just be able to understand the top of those routes, not drifting, and then that's just a bummer. Halftime, you dig the channel and you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications. I sincerely appreciate you subscribing to the channel. It does mean a lot to me, so thank you for taking the time and doing that. Again, the Quarterback School Patreon community, you know about it. Join, become a member, get even more Quarterback School content. We also have Quarterback School courses. Now, these courses are the premium content available through the channel. These are deep, deep dives on my favorite football topics. We have a course on RPOs, tempos, pass protection. The best-selling course is how to beat every coverage. We even have an entire offense available for you. So hop over there and enroll. You can check out the courses at the Quarterback School website, theqbschool.com. There's a fun interactive feature over there where you can ask me anything, and it points you in the direction of more nuance and details videos about those subjects. So hop over there, ask me anything, and then finally make sure to follow me across all the social media platforms. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get back to it. All right, into the second half here, 2nd and 10. Okay, this is just one of those plays where you don't see a rep like this very often from Purdy. And so I'm going to hedge this. And again, I've been in enough offensive meetings to know that if a quarterback looks like this on a play, he doesn't expect to be hot, especially a guy like Purdy, who I feel like has a pretty deep understanding and his track record on film of having hot answers and knowing at least what the system provides you for an answer and not being surprised. And so I might not agree with all the hot answers, which is fine. They don't fucking ask me, okay? I get it. Okay, they got answers in the building. But if this is the case where this linebacker blitzing is unblocked, and really the only answer that potentially looks like an answer here is the back up the seam, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is a mental error. This is probably 6-person protection, and he's got to block him. But I'm also going to acknowledge the fact that if it is an error from the running back, it's pretty rare to have a check down seam. Okay, it just is. It's not against the rules. It's just rare. If he has a free release, meaning he's not part of the pass pro, he has to get the ball here. He is hot. This guy is unblocked. So again, I don't know who's at fault because this is a quarterback-centric channel. We're going to blame the running back because I think Purdy's earned that privilege. But this is a problem down here to the bottom. It's just a problem. Again, nobody's looking hot. The ridiculous loop return world that they live in, nobody's looking. Kittle's not looking hot. The guy going in motion, whoever the hell that is, not looking hot. The back looks right there. But Purdy's not even looking to the left. So he thinks he's protected. And there's just nothing there. And so you get this nothing burger incompletion. But when you turn on the film, this type of shit is alarming. This type of stuff is not good football. Again, the center, I mean, it's essentially a 5-0 look for the offensive line. So either of those backers blitz, we got to have a hot answer. But he's not even looking to the right. So again, or he's looking to the right, not to the left. And you don't have a chance to play quarterback like that. It's just very difficult. Unfortunate not to be a sack there. The very next play, 3rd and 10. Now there's parts of this play that I absolutely love that we'll talk about. Okay, but at the end of the day, Purdy doesn't like it. It's good pass pro. He goes and gets himself an opportunity for 4th and short here with a great scramble. So Purdy continues to use his feet more as a scrambler than necessarily anything close to like a true dual guy who's going to get quarterback run game called for him. But he can absolutely do this. He's got some quicks, some acceleration. Go get yourself close to a first, make it 4th and competitive, outstanding. Now, the thing that I love about this play is it's a little trick of the trade here as far as essentially even at home, you can do this like quick snap. And so if you're in a pressure situation where you think the defense is going to blitz you, okay, what you'll often see teams do, and this is a perfect illustration of it, is the offensive line will go get set. Okay, a normal offensive line, how it gets set is the center gets set, and then you like accordion out on both sides. So these guys can get their splits correctly. In a normal set, you would never have the guards and the tackles go get set first, and then have the center walk in late. And so that, to me, is a key, okay? A little trick of the trade for you crazies on defense. If you see this kind of walk to the line of scrimmage, they're going to quick snap your ass. So what happens is these guys come up and get set. Everybody hustles out, gets set, sets their feet. The center walks up last, sets his feet, and snaps it. So it's like a silent count. And you can see it does impact the defense because they're not set. You got guys walking around. They're not ready to go. So it's a great little trick of the trade. And I'm going to show it from all 3 angles. From there, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know what the read is. If he was looking up top, he probably throws this corner because it's there. The bummer, coming from experience playing this position like this with this kind of quick snap, is that, yeah, we'll catch the front sleeping, but we don't really get a clear picture of what the hell's going on in the back end. So if you're doing any sort of coverage read, which they're probably not, okay, they're probably doing some sort of pure progression, it's fine. But it's one of those things where you have to have the play connected to, I'm probably not going to have a clear picture on defense because who the hell knows what they're going to be in when we're in this walk around, quick, hurry up snap. So I'm going to show all 3 angles. Watch the offensive line. So see how everybody gets set, center walks up, snaps it. There's no cadence. It's just an excellent way to get the defensive lines not ready to go. The pressure's not locked in. We've got an opportunity to catch them sleeping. So I love that part of the plan. It's outstanding. It really is. And they didn't invent this. Okay, but this is a critical down and distance. 3rd and long. Again, watch. Everybody gets set. Center walks up, looks around. Everybody's set, snap. Okay, we got him. And you can really see, I think it's Bolton 32. Look at 32, the linebacker on the hash. He's not ready, snapped. There it is, perfect. So it worked. But we don't really get anything down the field. Fortunately, we've got Purdy who can go kind of create, accelerate forward, got that great kind of 10-yard dash speed and go get it. So again, one more time from the defensive end zone. Everybody set, walk forward, set, snap, go. And again, doesn't like it, great pass pro. Get us right to the sticks. Next one here, really nice quarterback sneak. I'm used to calling this an influence sneak. You don't see it very often, but it works really well, when you get essentially like a gapped out defense. Not necessarily, you want no one on the center. So they've got guys in the A's and the B gaps down there, and you pull the guards. So both guards influence out. It kind of influences those A gap tackles to go out. And it's basically a one-on-one Oklahoma drill with the center and the Mike linebacker. So Purdy does a nice job. It's an excellent call. To me, it's a great scheme call. It looks like they've got 2 plays called. So if they didn't get the front that they wanted here, you can see him do whatever their system is, alert, kill, can, whatever. If we don't have this kind of gapped out 6-2 look, so we got guys in the A and the B. Again, we're pulling these guys. We got our buddy doing a quick little motion to get out here as well. So it ends up being just the center one-on-one right here, and we're able to just go off that block. So it's an excellent schemed up play. It really only works well, in my opinion, versus this front. Great call, great communication, quick motion. Watch both the guards go out. So double influence, one-on-one, end zone. Really nice job. And again, if Purdy probably kept his eyes open here, it'd be even easier. Excellent. All right, next one here, 2nd and 6. And we're going to catch 0 here. This is the same look where I was all over 14 last time for not going fast enough on the little crosser. This to me is just air raid cross. You know, it might not be Y cross, but one-on-one down the field, throw a go ball. Again, I felt like Purdy was being almost out of character aggressive. And normally I'm all for being aggressive. That's a hell of a coverage from 22. He knocks the ball out. It's not the end of the world for me to say, hey, let's take a shot versus press man. We got to beat press man. We like the matchup, I guess, question mark. Okay, let this thing rip. Now, again, the last time we talked about this read almost guaranteed is alert. You like the matchup. Well, I guess that's it. Otherwise, it's 1 here, 2 here. And again, this is now the second time where I'm saying, hey, you might like this matchup, but let's make sure he wins. If not, let's get here. And again, it's obviously easy with a clicker and a marker. Okay, but this is magnified. This decision for me is not the end of the world normally, but it becomes magnified because the next play is an interception. So the next play doesn't happen if we just take what the defense gives us here. Again, this dude's pretty good. You know, I don't know if this dude's good or not. It just doesn't feel like my matchup. Maybe they love the matchup. Maybe they're best friends. Maybe they're playing buddy ball. I don't know. But I like Kittle here. And again, I know it's easy with a clicker and a marker. But this is the second time this play has kind of let us down this game. So they obviously like the play. They keep calling it. I personally think it's designed for Kittle or the crosser. Both times Kittle, the number 1 read in my opinion, is there. Again, it's not a terrible throw. It's right in his hands. You know, if he catches it and makes that play and turns away from the defender, we're loving it. But he doesn't. And the next play is a pick. That's a hell of a play from 22, man. That's fucking awesome. The very next play, 3rd and 6. And this is a tough interception down here to the bottom to the new number 2. I personally think this is a very difficult route versus this kind of leverage. It sure looks like Purdy just skymails this thing, which you just don't see very often. Now, again, probably throw into a guy he doesn't have a whole hell of a lot of reps with. That's just the reality of it. That's me making an excuse. It's just nowhere near a good throw. Now, again, I'm assuming that the guy ran the route at the correct depth. To me here, if the ball's on essentially the 35 and we're running like an intermediate out, so whether that's a square out, speed out, whatever this is, you know, is it there? I guess it's there. There's the guy essentially runs into outside leverage. The DB has the right to his space, so he's sitting outside leverage. You've got to kind of make this thing move, and then we try to play this thing with a little bit of anticipation, and we're just skymail it. We're not on the same page as far as where he comes out of this route at the top. So, you know, I personally don't love the route right there. As soon as he's collision like this with outside leverage, you're probably off of it. We got a little jerk underneath it with 14 or a little juke. You know, that's probably where the ball should go. Again, super easy with the marker and a clicker, right? Y'all, I mean, I get it. I just, as soon as we're collisioned out here, to me, this throw becomes much harder. And then underneath here, what I'm calling a little jerk or juke here, that's probably where, you know, if this is 1, this is probably 2. Let's just get it down. And again, it felt all game that we were pressing a little bit. Not even on the interceptions, but just on everything. Everything felt a little sped up, a little pressed. I get it. We're out there with down a number of Avengers, but that to me would make us even press even less. Like, just take what the defense gives you, lean into the offense, lean into the structure, lean into the design, just get through exactly how cookie cutter type reads, as opposed to forcing it to guys we just don't know very well. Next one here, 3rd and 10. This is a very nice conversion as far as the catch and throw to Kittle down here to the bottom. You know, whether you call this short post, follow, Kittle's a number 3. He's going to come out and run that little angle back in behind it. Now, there's a penalty, I think, grabbing 10 in front of him. But I want to acknowledge the fact that this is a nice conversion on a tough down and distance before we get into kind of the issues with this play for me. But this is an excellent job from Purdy on the body, on the break, put it right on him. It's an outstanding job. So what's going on here scheme-wise? We've essentially got the 1 and the 3. So we're running like a little shallow. So we're across here. or here, and then where the ball ends up going here, and what I'm going to call this little follow or Texas back across here. And so he's probably thinking 1 to 2 here. We end up getting held, I think, right here on the first one. It creates that nice window. Purdy puts it right on him. That's outstanding. Now, the problem here for me is that we're hot on the backside. So it looks like our guy is going 1 to 2. So for some reason, the offensive line is turning to the right. Again, we don't know what their call is. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know what their call is. I don't. But they're going a 4-person slide to the right, not a 3-person. So then that puts our fullback in a tough spot here. Again, anytime I see a hot situation, whether you want to call this a hot, a side adjust, whatever it is, and we don't have a hot option over here, I just think it's a structural issue. Again, maybe somebody makes a mental error. Maybe the center makes the wrong call pass pro wise. I just don't like it. I think it's bad football, and I think it catches up to you. Right here, that's a great job from Kittle. Purdy connecting, 3rd and 10. You're going to have to force Kittle the ball here. Does a great job finding it, making it happen. Now watch the left guard. So 65 is turning right? Like they're in a 4-person slide here. So these 4 guys are sliding to the right. Well, there's only 3 guys that are rushing. Now, maybe you might think, all right, where's 95? We're sliding to him. Okay, I get a game plan centric thing like that. That makes total sense to me. But now we're putting Juszczyk in a tough spot. So he's got to go 1 to 2. When both these guys pressure, he's going to be unblocked. And again, it works here because he comes from a little bit of depth and gets caught up. But again, there is no hot answer replacing him. It's frustrating, man. There it is. I mean, that's a great job by Juszczyk. Does Juszczyk pass off the stunt with Trent? Wow, that's a baller move from 44. I take back all my Cabo jokes, bro. You block like that, we'll send you to Cabo every year. That's awesome. Next one here, just an absolutely beautifully designed call. Big play opportunity down here to the bottom. The number 1 is running a little stutter go. Stutter, got him. Now the throw, we run out of club, and it's unfortunate. I mean, again, I think these throws are harder than people think. They think, oh, he's wide open, it should be easy. It's actually a little harder, in my opinion, to throw when guys are this wide open. Sure, you'd love to have a better ball be a touchdown here. I totally understand that. It's still a big chunk play. Now, this is a much better route for me than the early double move Ayuk play. Now, they might not be the same type of route, but a few things that I want you to watch. First is just the speed of the stutter. So it's up, and go. It's much faster. That Ayuk first one was almost like a elongated double move. So that's the first part. The second part is the number 2 here is running through the middle of the field. So he's holding any near safety. So we're really creating that kind of one-on-one out here to be able to have that throw. But the speed of the double move is simply outstanding. I love this route. Watch that number 1 to the bottom. Up. Got him. I mean, and he is running away from him coming out of that thing, right? Got him. And again, it should be a touchdown. There's no doubt about it. It's just unfortunate. It's still a big chunk play. It's not like a negative play, but it could and should have been a touchdown. So excellent call, great design. Your boy Debo looks pretty healthy on the sideline right there. He's enjoying himself. Big play. That's a great opportunity for that guy. Go make that play. Great. You know, the other thing I would add here is that this just doesn't look like Purdy's normal footwork. So 5-step drop, it's what I would classify as a little sloppier than his normal precise rhythm drops. And why it matters so much is because same drive here, 3rd and 5, now we're going to throw a pick. So what could have been a touchdown on the big stutter double move now turns into a red zone interception. And now this red zone interception, again, it's important to preface because people freak the hell out. This is Purdy. We can't have this type of throw. This is like a blind chuck, you know, as he's getting hit. Even if he doesn't get hit here, there's nowhere to go with this ball. So we can be really critical of the design, and we will be. But we can also acknowledge the fact that you just can't blind chuck this thing. It's never there. Okay, it doesn't matter what I try to make sense of here. It sure looks like Purdy is looking here, on what is probably this type of route, which I can say is not that great versus defense. And again, they love this. A little looper return. There really is nothing there. This is one of those ones where if he had to do this over again, I would imagine he would want to just go run and try to extend and make something happen. But to me, initially, this route is really only good versus like a red quarters look where there's a true mic that you're kind of running at, set it, and then take the middle. If someone's running with you with this type of route, so someone's like tailpiping you, running with you, matching with you, it's never really going to be there because he's going to be right in your pocket the whole way, right? So it's never really there. And then we come right back to this. And guess what? They're essentially playing, whether you want to call this red 7 brackets, it's 3/2 over here, and it's 4/3 down here. So they've got 4, right? There's 2, there's 2. There's 3, and there's 2. So they've got you +1 everywhere. You got to find the one-on-one. We don't find the one-on-one. The right tackle takes an L in the spin cycle, and it's a bad pick. But as he goes to throw it right there, where would you like it to go? Right? Like this is always a fun game to play. Here? 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 I mean, this is where he throws it, but really it's those 3. Here? Where? Tell me, coach. Now, that doesn't excuse us chucking it into this. And again, the right tackle takes an L, so we don't really have a ability to extend. But this is 3rd and goal. This is all we got. And it's the reality. Injuries suck. Happen to a lot of teams. Can't have that happen, though. So it's tough for me to sit here and be, again, it stops with Purdy. Can't do it. But also, we got to get more help than this, right? Like, I mean, where do you want it to go? He's looking at 10 right there. Not there. 18. Not there. Right tackle, L. Spin cycle. Whoop. Damn. So next one here. It is 3 minutes left to go in the game. We are down 16, 2 scores. We're going to hit Kittle up top. He's going to be in the slot. Middle field open. Some iteration of 2 read or Palmsy from the Chiefs. Attack the middle of the field. We talked about it all video. It's going to be there when you catch these kind of coverages. They do a nice job, again, of Kittle getting to the middle of the field. I like this throw from Purdy. Low second base throw. Protect him from that kind of Ayuk-ish hit. It's a really nice job. Again, they've been open in the middle of the field. When you catch them open and you catch some sort of like non-sticky coverage, meaning more like traditional 2-read, 2-zone coverage, make them pay, attack the middle of the field. Excellent job. Next one here, 3rd and 4. Unfortunate. Again, we have a breakdown in pass pro. Purdy's able to have the strength, balance to stay out of it, go get a first down with his feet. Really nice job. And that's the first part from Purdy. Excellent job here on being able to overcome the deficiencies up front. Keep your feet right there. Have the awareness to go get a first down. Excellent job. Now, what the right guard is doing, I do not know. There is no pass pro in the world where that is necessarily the case. They're essentially presenting a 4-down front. And again, it doesn't matter who's who in the zoo. And what I mean by that is it doesn't matter if the guy in the B gap is a linebacker, defensive end. Okay, this presentation, and again, I get it. I'm assuming this is Chris Jones. One of these guys, Chris Jones. Okay, they probably want to slide towards him often. They're presenting an even front. Right? Even though this guy's got his hand up, this has the presentation of an even front for most offensive line pass protection units. There's no world where this is a 5-person. So let's pretend that he's leaving for sure. Okay, he's out. There is not a world where this guy doesn't block this guy. And there is no, this does not exist where we would set to an open gap here on a 4-person slide with this guy free rushing us through the B gap. It doesn't exist. So it's impossible to play quarterback like this with this kind of pass pro. Now, am I throwing this guy under the bus? A little bit. Maybe we have another pass pro error here where this is 6-person pass pro and he's supposed to come back and block this guy. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, again, we're not in their pass pro install meetings, game plan, whatever. But regardless, right guard or back, this cannot happen. And there are just too many of these types of plays where you're just like, hey, man, this unit is so much better than this. And again, I get that they're down. I get that they're, forced and struggling. I've said for a long time that this unit struggles in these types of situations where they have to drop back and pass, just because I don't think they spend a whole lot of time in that world. And you see it again and again on film. Last one here, we need a little bit of a mini miracle here. We're going to run what I'm going to call a little choice by the number 3, 10. At the bottom, he's going to let number 1 and 2 go through and just kind of run that little choice in off the switch release, put it right on him. Again, you really got to get in the end zone there, captain. I think they end up getting ruled down there inside the 1, which hurts them to even get a miracle opportunity for 2-point conversions with another touchdown. But this is a nice job from Purdy. This is what, you would hope that you get the entire game of him just taking what's there. And again, we don't have to know what exactly it's supposed to be. These two guys are running through there. I almost guarantee that this guy is running some iteration of a choice or a follow. Comes back underneath. It's there. Put it right on him. He's got to get in the end zone. But again, these aren't the Avengers. They just aren't. Okay? I mean, just take a snapshot of that. That's not the Avengers. That sucks for that unit, for this organization, for Purdy. But that's the reality of it. And again, it just continued to get exposed and really overexposed when you're down, and you're down against the Chiefs. They're just not built for this. And it continued. No one's built for it either. Like losing your, top 3 wide receivers, nobody is built for that. It's unfortunate, but that's the reality of it. And you felt like they continued to get exposed over the course of this game. And it just, reaffirmed things we've known for a long time about this unit. They're meant to play with the lead. They're great at it. Coming from behind, not built for. So that is a wrap. Brock Purdy, the Niners, rough L. Okay, rough L, no doubt about it. I think from the jump, you got to acknowledge the fact that Brock did not play up to his normal standard of play. And what I mean by that is the decision-making, the precision, the forcing the ball. It felt like he got a little bit out of character as far as maybe some of the aggressive force shots down the field, which then led to other rippling effects that made the game harder than they had to be. And it was obviously going to be a hard game regardless. When you start losing some of your best players, you go into it not at full strength, you continue to lose Avengers, it's going to be tough. It really is. There's no way to sugarcoat it. I think when you put on the All-22, you also see maybe some scheme issues that are consistent with this drop-back game. I feel like we've proven that over the course of weeks, years, looking at this system. But the system is the system at this point. And so you have to understand that and realize what it's built for, what it's not built for. And also realize when you turn on the film, it wasn't just Brock Purdy. There were deficiencies in the pass pro world. We had free runners going through there. We didn't have hot answers. Brock actually used his feet pretty well there to kind of band-aid over a couple of reps that didn't give us the best opportunity to be successful. And we missed a few throws. There were opportunities for bigger plays, even when we hit it down the field, that could have been touchdowns. So you couple all that together and put it on top of the Chiefs defense, the Chiefs organization, the Chiefs team, you're looking at a rough performance. I don't think it's necessarily the end of the world for the 49ers in this offense. That team's going to be tough for everybody to beat. The 49ers not at full strength, not getting the best performance from Brock, and it's going to end up looking like that. It was ugly. But it wasn't necessarily as bad as maybe just the stat line looks. I think there were opportunities there. I do think that there are the other part about this that I want to say is the Chiefs are gettable. They are gettable. I don't know if a team not at full strength is going to be able to necessarily get them like that, but there were opportunities on that film. You can start to see kind of the underlying idea that the Shanny and company were getting at with some of the pass pro things, with the quick snaps. I think that they kind of condensed formation themselves and got a little confused on some of the leverage from the DBs. But you can see that there are potential opportunities down the field there for how you want to beat that sticky coverage. But man, it's going to be tough. They're a good unit. And when you don't play at your best, you're going to get exposed. So thank you so much for hanging to the end. I will see you next time. Have a good one.